Last night, something interesting happened. A lot of people started noticing that Frost's Twitter bio had changed. It used to say G4TV host. It had said that for nearly a year at that point. You can see archives. I showed it in my video I did. January, February, April, June, even September 16th said at G4TV host. All of a sudden, that vanished last night. Now, that along with some insider information that could not necessarily be public until it was actually all out there. We knew that Frosk was done at G4TV. Finally, 9 months after her rant about sexism in gaming came out, because she was upset that she was getting heat and she was getting criticized for her terrible take, she decided to attack the entire G4TV audience and says, if you don't like it, don't watch. Well, people took her advice. They tuned out. G4TV has been an absolute catastrophe since then. And after they laid off dozens of people, Frost bragged that she wasn't one of them. That was the last straw. G4TV is finally done what they probably should have done a while ago. They fired Frosk.
That was clearly what got her fired. Like, yes. You know, in her one-on-one, they were like, don't cause no shit. You survive by the skin of your crooked teeth. Yeah. Don't cause no shit. And what does she do? Immediately does it. Now, of course, just like in real world, no consequences, gets paid out for her contract, whatever. She doesn't care. But like, I don't care. Like, we get to take a victory lap.
That tweet was so bad, objectively bad. Like, no one can defend that tweet. It was so awful.
Imagine if you were one of the people that got laid off. I'd be looking for her. You know, we're going to have some words.
It was just awful.
It would just be one thing if she was an employee and did that. Like, if she saw a bunch of other employees get fired and then she tweeted that, that would be real poor taste. That would be bad. But if you're the one that caused it, you directly are the cause for them losing their jobs, I would be furious. I'd hope I hadn't turned in my key card yet so I'd get back to work and have some words with her.
Did you see the G4 tweet where they had the two people on going, you know, it's tough for everyone, but we love our fans and we love our supporters. So we love all of you for making this possible so we can bring you the best content. And then she tweets out, I survived.
What's even bigger than this, first of all, Pereira's gone. He quit. But now their whole thing is like, we're just going to focus on Twitch content. Like, what? So what? Yeah, you're just Twitch streamers now? What do you need G4 for that?
The truth is, we've heard this. I'm sure you've heard this as well, Jeremy, talking to people behind the scenes. They cannot do what they were doing before. They fired too many people. They don't have the staff anymore. They're going to shorten it up to just streaming on Twitch and then one camera operator and like 2 people. They're going to go totally bare bones. And likely it's just going to be done with the exception of esports content. There's money behind G4 for the purpose of pushing esports. That was half of the reason it got recreated the way it did, was so they could do this connection with esports. So that's the only way it will potentially survive on, is in that form. Well, what they were trying to do, that is a complete and total failure. With Kevin Pereira leaving at the end of the month, that is the end. Nobody who was involved with G4 from before this reboot, they've all left. Blair Herter abandoned ship. Kevin Pereira gone.
Not before poking a hole in it, by the way. Wasn't he the VP that was like, don't like it, don't watch it? And then went and had his golden parachute deploy 2 days after that tweet.
He said, we are not for you if you don't agree with Frost. If you don't like what she says, we are not here for you. Like, in terms of prominent names, I don't know if the completionist is still there. I have no idea.
He doesn't need them, though.
He
That's
doesn't
the weird
need
thing.
them. He doesn't need
them. Is Sessler still there?
Sessler's still there.
He's
Twitter
so
account.
bad.
His Twitter account is a disaster. Like, it is so bad. He is unhinged.
You know, what he's doing, though, you're right, Jeremy. It's a constant 18 hours a day, Twitter threads, replying to people with barely any following, telling them that they're shit, telling them to go eat shit and die because he thinks they're conservative or Republican. Like, what a terrible representative for your company.
If you look back at the beginning, the nexus of this, it was clearly a passion project of, I believe, the president's son at Comcast. Do the math. If you just look at overhead, okay, just for funsies, how many employees do they have? 30? How many senior vice presidents and presidents? Usually when you're at a company that big, you'll have like all these executives that you get like a share of their salary. Probably 200 grand a month in overhead. Like, what were they thinking? There was no chance they were ever going to succeed unless it burst on the scene and was like as big as it ever was. These people didn't have followings the way it was, so I don't know what in the heck they were thinking. We all know what YouTube revenue pays. How many people would it take to have 30 full-time employees?
Yeah, they try to do a high-res version of what we do. Is essentially what they try to do. So it's overproduced, trying to take what it is that we had been doing, and they were entering. That's what makes this sort of different from what they were doing before, is that they're now entering into it's a G4 TV, but they're entering into a space that has been dominated by people shooting videos in their bedrooms and stuff. People have access to pretty much all this different technology where they can get this information out and do what we used to go to G4 for. So now people don't have to do that anymore. So now they were entering into something that they couldn't replicate the old, because for one, it was outdated. It was the dated kind of thing. So if you're going to do this like high quality, heavy produced, man, you have to be hella good at what it is that you're doing. And to come out swinging with like Frosk, I think it's one of the latest examples of a failure of, you may get tweets, retweets and all that stuff, but all these people like actually into your shit, you know what I mean? And I think a lot of people within various different industries and markets are finding out that they don't have the draw that they think they actually have, and they're being blinded by this idea that, well, I can get a retweet, or this person has this bit of visibility, or and these people can interact with it, but it doesn't mean that they're genuinely interested in it. So it's a lot. It's not just G4. It's a lot of different companies and different industries that are finding out the hard way that like you can't eat your fucking retweets.